Ever looked at a huge data set and thought, how do I even make sense of all this? You're staring at numbers, text, and columns, and it's hard to figure out what's really going on. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. A lot of us get stuck at this point. And in today's video, we are going to tackle exactly this problem. First up, we'll dive into Pandas, a powerful library that makes working with data a breeze. We'll show you how to manipulate and clean your data so you can start seeing patterns. Then we'll talk about central tendency, a key concept that helps you understand the core characteristics of your data, like the mean, median, and mode. Next, we are going to explore the magic of data visualization. You'll learn about the most common types of visualizations that can help you make your data come to life, whether it's bar charts, line plots, or scatter plots. And to wrap it all up, we'll go through the steps for effective data visualization, showcasing you exactly how to take your cleaned up data and turn it into compelling visual stories. And by the end of this video, you will have the tools and confidence to turn complex data into insightful visuals that anyone can understand. But before we begin, I would like to invite you all to our free live masterclass on AI and machine learning that will give you hands-on experience and help you apply these skills in real-world scenarios. So you can register through the link given in the description below.
Let me just take you through another lab, which is Pandas, just to give an insight. Okay, so before that, let me just take you through this aspect when I say Pandas. Okay, what is Pandas? It is basically used for manipulation and analysis. Okay, again, suppose, okay, if I want to read, I'll just give an example. If I want to read a file, if you remember, we had something called as read underscore CSV. Now, what if this file is pretty huge? Okay, right now, there is, these values are not computed in memory. Okay, there is no memory associated within the Python, okay, for going ahead and handling the pandas apart. You can say to an extent, just to give an example, I'm saying I'm not aware about that, but I do know that suppose I have something, suppose I have got 10 MB of file, I can load it. Okay, but what if I have humongous amount of data, maybe 1 GB of data that I want to go ahead and load? Okay, in that case, pandas will not be able to function appropriately, because for that you need multiple computations, okay, wherein you want to host the file into multiple servers rather than hosting it in a single server when you want to load. So for that, we also have something called as PySpark. Okay, via PySpark, you can go ahead and do big data analytics. Okay, if you want to do big data analytics, it is, again, we are just having a stepping stone. But if you want to do big data analytics, there is something called as Spark engine, which also supports Python integration. So if you want to load the file, you can make use of PySpark also to go ahead and load file, which is very huge. Okay, right now when we understand pandas, it is for file which can be loaded easily using the pandas data frame. Okay, directly using the Python. But if you're not able to go ahead and load it, maybe the data is huge, then you can go for Python Spark module also, which has integration of Spark via the Python. Okay, just to give you an insight. Now, why do we use pandas? Basically, it is used to go ahead and pre-process data. If you want to explore the data, okay, if you want to build a data pipeline, cleaning the data, everything, if you want to go ahead and do, you can make use of pandas. Okay, let me just take you through the code right now. Let me just go through this simple file. First of all, we are importing pandas. After importing, we are again reading that simple file loan underscore small dot CSV. Done. After this, if you can see, if I want to see all the values, I can see all the values directly by going ahead and calling this variable data set. The moment I call this value, you can see there are how many values? 16 values. It starts from index number 0, goes up to index number 15. If I want to see some values, we can even go ahead and try something called as, if I just want to see the values which comes at the head, I can just go ahead and use this head, which will go ahead and help me look into the first 5 values. Now, apart from that, if I want to do some kind of an operation, just to show you, suppose if I want to go ahead and uh, extract this value. Okay, I'm interested to, let me just put it this way. I'm interested to extract this value. Now, this value, this is column number 0, column number 1. So this comes under column number 2. Sorry, column number 2. So this is 0, 1, and 2. Yeah. Okay. This is column number 3. Okay, so if I want to extract this, I can even make use of iloc. Okay, iloc is extracting the data making use of index location. So when I say 0 to 3, basically 0 to 3 means we are getting the first three rows from the second and third column. So when we say 0 to 3, this basically indicates row number. So 0 to 3 is this. Okay. We say 0 to 3, it is mutually exclusive. It is not going to consider the third one. So when we say 0 to 3, it is basically 0 to n minus 1. So it will go till 2. So we will extract the first three value. Apart from that, I'm interested to extract the column number 2 and 3. So column number 2 is, this is column number 1 is 2 and 2 is 3 and this is 4. So if I want to get this, sorry, if I want to get this, I'll say this as column number 0. This is column number 1. This is column number 2. And this is what we call as column number 3. So if I want to extract the column number 1 to 3, I can just specify 1. If I want to extract 1 to 2, sorry, then I need to specify 1 to 3. Okay. So when I'm going to go ahead and take a, you can say, combination of these two, this is what I am trying to extract. Is it fine? Sorry, not this. I am trying, yeah, I'm trying to extract 0 to 3, right? So I'm trying to extract this. We can put it here also, index 0, 1, 2, and finally 3. Is it okay, guys? So when we go ahead and do this, here you can see, when we go ahead and do this, the combination of these two will be, this. You can see the combination of these two is going to be this, right? So this is what we are able to get. If I scroll down, I'll just give you an example. I hope that makes sense. We can take this. Okay, I'll just say, suppose I have a sentence, the food is awesome. Okay. And I'm saying the food is bad. Okay. The food is okay. Now, if I ask you how many sentences are there, guys, here? 3. Now, the is one word. Food, I want to count all the unique word. I'm just counting all. So in the first sentence, I can see 4 unique words. Okay. Now, if I go to the next sentence, the food is getting repeated. So if unique word, if I say, one word gets added. So now how many unique words? Total 5. I'll just add it here. And there is one more unique word, which is one more getting added, which is 6. Okay. So now how many features do I have? Similar to how we have color, price, if you remember all those things. So now the number of features are, the is one feature, food is one feature, is awesome, bad, okay. Is it okay? Done? Okay, so this is what we have now. Suppose, now when I have this kind of a thing, tell me, if there is any sentence, suppose there was a review, right? And one of the review by one of the customer is blank. Will it be counted also? It will automatically be eliminated, right? Because we are counting what? We are counting unique words and we are considering 1, 2, 3, tell me, 4, 5, 6. Is it okay? Now, if I ask you how many times food was coming, so food was coming thrice, is was coming thrice. Just to give an example, if I also get a count, okay, awesome is coming only one time, bad is coming one time, okay is coming one time, the is coming how many times? Tell me, 3 times. Now, whichever word comes the most frequent, that is the most repetitive word. Which word is the most important? Tell me, out of all these 6 words, according to you. Awesome, bad, and okay. Why I tell this? For machine learning, whichever word is the most less spoken, that is the unique word. Okay. When we build a machine learning model, we do not look for repetitive word. Okay. We look for unique word. Try to understand what I'm saying. Okay. So which word is more important when I want to go ahead and categorize food sentiment? Sentiment for food, awesome. Okay. Awesome will give me a positive sentiment. Yeah, bad will give me a negative sentiment. Okay will give me a neutral sentiment. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So now when you want to go ahead and build a predictive analytics on this kind of system, then we call it as deep learning. I told deep learning. We use deep learning algorithms. In this course, we are not covering that. Okay. Is it okay? We are not covering that. I hope that makes sense. We are only dealing with structure things so that you understand the basic. We are not looking into something which is going to like help you build everything, right? But these all things are available over an internet. Everything you will be able to find with time. Okay. But once you start with the content, understand how does a machine learning model gets built, then all these things, deep learning, transformer architecture will be a cakewalk for you. It's not at all tough. Okay. Everything is built on basis of whatever we are learning, features, okay, target, pre-processing, everything will be same. Okay. Whatever is required to be done. Is it okay? Now, just to show you, suppose if there was a full stop. Here, suppose, I'll just tell you. There was an exclamation. Here, there was a emoji, sad face. Let me just put it this way. Okay. Now, is it not a character? And here, suppose there was a full stop. Is it not a character? Is it not a text? These are also text, right? So this text will be considered as something which we need to eliminate from our data. So when we do feature engineering, here what are we going to do? We will drop this, we will drop this, we will drop this. I hope that makes sense because we are only interested in text. Okay. So you also do feature engineering in text data, in image data, for which videos also. There are different things that are available. If you go through GitHub, you will be amazed. But first, build the knowledge of fundamentals and things, everything will be clear after that. Okay. I hope that makes sense, guys. See, I also started this way only. So don't worry. It's so much that like your time will get completed, but the task will not be completed. So you will always keep on learning. So the point is this system is still building. Okay, every day you will find something new. Technology is at the, you can say, at a point where everything is going up, right? So there are every day you will find something new popping up. You have just started. Build your base. It takes time. Once you build your base, go through different things, examples. Okay, you will automatically understand a lot more. You will learn via trial and error, and then things will be much more clearer to all of you. Okay, but right now we'll focus upon this pandas. If I scroll down, I'll just read. If you want to see the shape is how many rows and how many columns. So there is a method called shape. It will tell you how many rows are there. 16 rows. Columns means features 16. Okay, if you want to see all the labels, all the feature index, if you want to see the names of this, you can check that also. This is what you will be able to get. Now, if you want to convert that into a list, because many a times you need to pass it, so you can take this and you can use a method to list to get it converted into a list. Okay. Earlier, it was basically what you can say object. Now, this object, you have just read it as a list. Okay. So if you want to read it as a list, you can read it as a list. Apart from that, if you want to handle missing value, so whatever we are doing here, there is a method. You just need to say is null. What it is going to do, it will project true where there is a missing value, and wherever it is not a missing value, it will say false. So if you look at the loan amount, if I run this, you will see true will come whenever there is a missing value. False will come if there is no missing value. But this makes the reading very difficult, right? How will you read a big data set, right? So what you can do, you can use that same method is null, and then you can sum it over an axis 0. Okay. When you say sum it over an axis 0, basically what it is going to do, over the entire row, it will find each and every column how many values are null. Is it okay? So now when you say x is equal to 0, you need to put this, then only it is going to go ahead and sum it across the column. So when I run this, you will see loan ID has 0 null value. And apart from that, everywhere there is a null value. Can you see? Okay, now if I want to replace the null value, I can replace the null value. If you remember, we have already seen that. But if you want to drop, suppose I am not interested to keep loan amount, null values, there are 3 null values. So what I want to do, wherever there is null value, just drop that row. What I'm saying, wherever there is null value, drop that entire row. Okay. Because you can't just drop one value, right? So what we are saying, we can just say subset. What are we saying? Drop NA. We can just see, I'll just tell you, if I run this, let me just run. This is fine. Okay, now let me just come out from here. If I say drop, if I remove this, I'll just remove. If I say drop NA, just see what it is going to do. It will go ahead and drop everything. Okay. It will just drop everything from here. all the values will be dropped wherever there is going to be what? Wherever there is going to be null. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Let me just put dataset underscore clean dot, what was the thing, is null. I want to see the value, right? Just want to get the sum. So if you remember, yeah, is null, then dot sum. Okay. Okay. Now if I run this, you will see everything is, sorry, I think I have dropped some, right? I have forward the, now let me just run this. Now can you see everything is dropped? This is what I was saying. Can you see? Now, we need to understand what are the two important visualization systems. We have something called as matplotlib, and then we also have something called as Seaborn. Before we go ahead and look into that, what I have done, I'll just show you. I have added two labs, which I'm going to share with you with respect to, you can say with respect to, yeah, I have added two labs with respect to central tendency. And let me open this lab within Visual Studio Code. You can run it here also. Both the things are one and the same. So if I click on this Python file, I'll just click on this Python file. And what do I have in here? I'll just explain you what do we have in here. I am importing something called as NumPy, which we are going to deal, okay, in the subsequent chapter. NumPy is basically to go ahead and do numerical calculation on the data. But apart from that, from the Python root library, okay, there is a library called as statistics, from where we are importing two functions. Functions are basically which are going to go ahead and do the task for us. So whenever you have a small cap, you understand it is a function. Whenever you have a caps lock, then you can understand it is a class. So we are importing mode and statistics error from statistics. Apart from that, in the NumPy, you do have multiple measures. Like if you want to get mean, you can get it via NP, NumPy. If you want to find median, you can get it via NumPy. But mode is not available in NumPy, because if you remember, mode is used for which kind of data, guys? Is it for text data or is it for numbers? Text. That's the reason we do not have it in NumPy. Okay, so we have mean, median, but we do not have mode. Any mathematical calculation, you will be able to find it as under NumPy. Now, one more thing that I would like to highlight is, if you are new to this, do remember that we can import any module or library as an alias. Alias basically means we can call that module by a short name. So we have NumPy, within which we have a method, okay, which is going to do the task for us, like mean. So rather than writing the full thing NumPy, we can use an alias as NP. General convention is to use NP, but if you want to use any other name, you can use. But when you use NP, people automatically understand that this person is trying to call NumPy. Okay. So now what do we have? Just to give an example, we are defining a function wherein we are saying the user is going to pass the data, to be very frank. Okay. And we want to find mean, we want to find median, and we also want to go ahead and find mode. Okay, so here you can see we also want to find mode in the data. Now I'll tell you, if the mode exists, we will get, just to give an example, suppose if I have a data 1 0 0 1 1.5, this is number data. But just to, if I want to count which is the most frequently occurring value, can you tell me? The most frequently occurring value 1, right? So now if that is the case, it will say that it has a mode. Okay, but if there is no, suppose the value is 1 0 0.5 2, okay, and if I ask you which is the most frequent value, you will say there is no frequent value, everything is occurring only once. So in this case, we will have no unique mode. Okay, so we can specify via statistics error class that no mode value exists if there is no mode in the data. Okay, so just to help you understand, we are going to go ahead and directly pass the data to the mode. So if you see here, we have something called as mode. This function accepts the data directly, so we are passing the data directly. Now let me tell you something, guys, do not get confused. Sometimes, see, I'll tell you, function methods are interchangeable. Do remember this. Whatever I am saying, methods, or you can say functions, are something that are going to go ahead and do tasks. Okay, now there are also some modules which can directly accept the method. Okay, so here you can see NumPy also accepts method. There are some modules, the way they are defined, okay, the protocol in which they have been defined, they directly accept the methods also. Okay, that is also possible. So here you can see we have this. Okay, this is my you can say function or a thing wherein we can go ahead and directly pass the data. Okay. Now, just to help you understand, we have got this thing. Now, if I scroll down here, what are we trying to do? Once we do this, this is the function. This is where the function ends. So here you can see this is where the function ends. Okay. Now, after the function ends, what we are saying, put an input. Okay. Someone is going to say 1 or someone is going to say 2. So if you say 1, you are going to enter the data manually. If you say 2, you are going to enter the data via file. Okay. Now we are saying when person puts 1, take the input in the form of float. Okay. And we can accept two types of data, comma separated value or space separated value. Okay. Now, apart from that, what are we trying to go ahead and do? We are trying to go ahead and if you can see, we are calling this function. If you remember, we have defined one function, calculate central tendency. So if I scroll up, this is what we are calling here, calculate central tendency, which is going to go ahead and do all this task for us. Mean value, median value, and mode value, it is going to go ahead and find. Okay, this is basically what is going to happen into our data, which we are going to call. Okay, apart from that, we can also pass that file path. And here we are saying we can only accept text file, okay, which are separated by space. If you want to go ahead and pass some another file, that is also possible. But for that, we need to edit the code. Here we are saying that we are only going to go ahead and read the file. Okay, so if I just copy this rather than copying it here, let me come up here, or I'll just show you. This file is existing where we can just take the path of this file because this is a Python file, right? So either we need to convert it into Jupyter notebook, okay, or we can directly run it in the console. So I'll just show you one more way to run. So where is my file? This is my file. I'll just go to this. I'll copy as path. I'll open command line. You can open command line or Jupyter. That's okay. I can paste the path here, but I do not need to pass the file name here. Okay, this is done. Now under this, I am going to write Python. And then what is the name of the file? We can just copy it from here. We can again come up here and we can just put the file name. So once we go ahead and do this, here you can see it is asking two information. What it is asking? Choose an option. If I say 1, it is asking enter number separated by space. Let me put 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Now tell me what will be the mean for this? 2. And median will also be 2. And mode is also equal to 2. Simple I have put. Now let me just try it again. Let me just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think it is not taking. Okay, I need to put the choice first. Sorry. Okay, my choice is 1. Now let me just put 1, 2, 3, 4. And here you can see I am getting this value. Now the point is, out of all this, I'm not sure why is it taking mode as 1.0. I think it is taking randomly. Let me just check it again. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is taking the first value as the mode value. Okay, let us just try to change it. We can change the program, that's not a problem. But let me just put 2, 1, 3, 4. Okay, so here you can see it is randomly taking the first value as the mode because all the values are occurring only once. Okay, now if you want to go ahead and pass the file, I have also created one file. If I can see, just for the sake of understanding, I have done this. So I have got some file in Excel and I have also got the file in comma separated. Okay, CSV. So suppose if I want to pass this file, I can even pass this file. I know where is the file, right? So one second. Let me just come up here. Now, suppose if I have a file that I want to load here, I have put different files that we can try. So I have got different files that I can go ahead and try. Let me just try that out. One second. So I can enter the file path. Let me just put it here. I have got data file in Excel, CSV, as well as TXT. I have used GPT to go ahead and write this code. I'll just take the file. Okay. Let me just put the file path. Okay, when I need to put the file path, I need to put CD also. Sorry. Okay, this is fine. Two, we need to enter the file. I think file path should be good enough. I just need to remove this inverted code. Okay, let us just try. So I have entered the file path it is asking me to go ahead and install something. I have not installed it here. So let me install pip install open, because I am opening Excel, right? So for Excel, Python Excel package is there which we need to install. That should be good enough. Okay. So but again, in that, if there is a header, we need to specify in our code that there is a header. Again, we can get all those things wherein we can say that we want you to eliminate the first value of our data sheet. That is all fine. That should not be a trouble. Again, that should not at all be a trouble. Okay, we are just trying to understand whether we can load a file and get the response. So let me just remove this. If there is a header right now, I'll show you that I have not kept any header. I've just kept simple plain values just to help you understand. Here you can see there is some value and we are able to go ahead and get mode, and we are able to get other values also. Let me just check what is there in this. Okay, this is what the value is. I think we should be able to get mean also, right? Let me just check what is the value. I'm getting mode as 4.5. Is this the correct value? 4 point is correct. Now, suppose, let me just open this another file, which is about the same thing. Let me just open it in the notepad. So I think we have already gone through this. Let me open this file about central tendency. Let me just show you. Let me open a notepad and let me just take you here. Okay, so if you want to go ahead, I think both the systems are almost one and the same. Here I have also gone ahead and specified, I think this is the same code that I have written twice. So we can try this. Now, let me just take you through the visualization aspect, which was important. And for that, okay, let me just take you through this code, which can be good enough for us to understand this visualization. We'll go through pre-processing, but before that, we need to understand visualization. Now, for visualization, again, I've just kept the code very simple. If you want to go ahead and do visualization, okay, you can make use of different types of plot. The most commonly used are bar chart, line plot, pie chart, even histogram, scatter plot. But again, to be very frank, for visualization right now, there are business intelligence tool like Tableau is there. We also have Power BI. Okay, and then there is also something called as ClickSense, which I have been recently using for our organization, which can be used to go ahead and visualize the data. But once you visualize data, you would like to pass the data onto a machine learning system so that you can build a predictive model, and then you can even monitor that model via the visualization tools that are available. But apart from that, Python also provides you you can say libraries via which you can go ahead and do visualization. So if you want to go ahead and create different types of visualization, you can go ahead and do this. Yeah, let me just go through this notebook, a very simple notebook. Here we are first trying to ignore the warning because we will get warnings. So within the Python, there is a function which is warning. And within that, you can call this method, which is going to go ahead and ignore if there is any warning that is going to pop out. Now, what are we trying to go ahead and do in this lab is we are trying to go ahead and do the visualization. First, we will load a data set whenever required. Then we will go ahead and perform if there is any pre-processing required. Okay, and then we will go ahead and create visualization. Again, I told all these things were possible and are possible via different BI tools also. Okay, possible. Okay, but we are trying to understand the functionality of Python. Okay, suppose you are writing a piece of code and you just want to do quick visualization. You're not interested to go ahead and pass it to Power BI to get the visualization. Then you can do it via the Python also. Okay, now first thing is we need to load the data set. So here, if I scroll down here, you can see that we can load a data set. Okay, so for loading the data set, again, if you want to load the data set, suppose if you want to load TSV file, you can use read underscore TSV. If you want to read CSV file, you can use read underscore CSV. Similarly, you can read Excel file also. Okay, so first you can import pandas as an alias, okay, which is used to read the file. I want to read the file, and after reading the file, if I want to show the first five values, okay, so this is called as, though we have not gone through it, but just at a point for understanding, this is called as data frame. Okay, now what is data frame? Data frame is a way, okay, in pandas, okay, to display files, okay, with table, you can say with tables. Okay, so if you have a file which is having rows and columns, you can make use of pandas data frame. So to get the file into pandas data frame, you first need to read the file, and then if you want to display, you can display. Now there is a function which you can go ahead and call dot head, which is going to go ahead and display the top five value. If you want to change, you can change it here. We are going to go through this. Now it is going to go ahead and display the top 10 values if there are 10 values within the system. Okay. If you can see 0 to 9 is 10. If you want to see, I'll just show you. If I want to see, suppose if I say 1 to 2, if I say 1 to 2, it will be 1 starting from, it will start from row number 1 and it will go up to n minus 1, which is again row number 1. Okay. So here I think we can go ahead and let me just put it this way. Is it something that I have done wrong? Second. It is taking the value right. Let me directly put. Okay, so if there is a head, I can just go ahead and specify the number. Okay, so we can display the values like whatever we want to go ahead and display. So this is more for understanding what is there. So in our data set, we have loan ID, gender, applicant income, co-applicant income, loan amount, area, and loan status. Okay, now if you want to load the data, we can load it. Now, apart from that, suppose if I want to do a line plot, though I have loaded the data, but I'll not use that data because here I do not see any data which is relevant for us to go ahead and create a line plot. Okay. So if I want to go ahead and create a line plot, what are the two things that are required for the line plot? If you remember, first, yeah, we require the values, right? If you remember, we require values, right? Okay. So if you remember here, we require values rather than count. And second is we require category, right? If you remember, we require category. So the point is here we do have value, but we do not have category. Or if we have category, we do not have value, right? Within a column, I'm saying. Okay. So that's the reason what I'm doing here, just to show you what I'm doing here. I'll just show you. I'm just creating a list right now. Okay. Jan to December. Then I'm saying what is the sales that is coming up. Just for your understanding, here you can see I have got the sales. Now, once we have got these two things, first we are importing matplotlib. Again, matplotlib has different functionality. We are looking to plot via Python. So we are importing a submodule called as pyplot as an alias PLT. Now, with the help of PLT, we can go ahead and draw whatever we want to go ahead and draw. So here you can see we are going ahead for the line plot. What is required? The method is dot plot. Okay, so we just need to use PLT dot plot. You will see this method will keep on changing. Other things will be same like title. All these methods will be same, but to plot histogram, this will change. To plot line chart, it will change. To plot box plot, it will change. Every time it will keep on changing. Okay, so the first thing is if I want to draw a line plot, do remember the keyword is plot. Here I need to specify X, then I need to specify Y. You can put it interchangeable, then it will automatically flip. Then which kind of marker do you want? You can use that. So right now I want a X marker. What should be the color of the marker? You can specify. What should be the line type? You can specify. If you want to give any label to the graph, you can even go ahead and do that. So right now, when we are going to go ahead and do this, it is going to do the plot. I'm also saying the figure size. So if you want how much units of X it should be there, like it should be a rectangle of 10 by 6 units. So you can go ahead and specify that it should be a rectangle of 10 by 6 units. Method called as title. Okay, then for X label, you can go ahead and use a string. What font size you want to specify, you can specify. For Y label, if you want to put something, you can put. Okay, then if you want to see the grid, you can say grid is equal to true. If you want to see the legend basically means you want to see X and Y values like this. Okay, so legend basically means this. Okay, so if you want to see the legend, you can even go ahead and say, I want to see the legend, show legend. Okay, now once this is all done, then you can go ahead and use a method plt.show. So first you define everything and then you can show. So let me just clean the kernel right now. Let me restart, sorry, rather than restart, let me clear all output and restart the kernel. Okay, now right now I can just run it right away. The moment I run this, here you can see what are we able to get. You can check it here itself. So this is what we are able to get, a line plot. Okay. Now whatever we told, if you remember, plt dot x label, x we had title, then we have x, and then we have y. So here you can see we have got title also. Okay. So we have got x label, we have got y label, we have got title. Okay. This is the title. Then we want to see the grid. So here you can see we have got the grid. Apart from that, so wanted to see the legend. So this label, if it is there, I can with label. This is the label that I'm seeing here. Okay. And apart from that, I also want to see the legend. So I can even go ahead and see that. Apart from that, if you can see, this is where we have box. Now there are different things that are available. You can just go through the documentation of directly matplotlib website to find this. I can use a cross also. I can change the color also if you want. Okay, and now if I plot it, okay, you can see the similar kind of thing. Okay, so if you want to draw line plot, the most important thing is to draw line plot. What do we require? We need to use the method dot plot. Okay, this is for line plot. Okay, now let me just run this because we are reading this file. Let me read the file. Now if I go down here, let me show you what do we have next. So if I want to go ahead and draw a bar plot, okay, now if I want to draw a bar plot, okay, here again we are using plot. Okay, but if I am going ahead and showing you here, what are we using? Kind is equal to bar, and then we need to specify the color. Okay, now just to help you understand here what I'm trying to go ahead and do, I'm reading the data. Okay, now what am I reading from the data? I am getting the, I want to draw a bar plot for loan status. So if I scroll up here, I want to draw a bar plot for, I want to draw a bar plot for what? Loan status. So in the loan status, what is the category that we have? We have Y, we have N, and we also have not applicable, not a number. Okay, which is not a number. So I have got three things here. So here I am first getting the count. Okay, so if you want, we can just come out of this. Let me copy, come here. Let me paste this here, and we can run this piece of line. Okay, once we run this piece of line, we can just go ahead and type this out. Loan status counts. Okay, here you can see Y and S. We will not get any not a number because it will count wherever the value is there. So how many yes we have? 11. How many no we have? 4. We have got this value. Just to keep it simple, how do you, again, we will see this in Pandas also, but you will be able to understand. Now, how do you understand everything? You look into the code, you practice. Again, I am right now learning one course which is about how to use Copilot to go ahead and do create a full front, you can say front end web application, which can be used for AI purpose. Okay, how can you use Copilot with having limited knowledge of programming? Okay, again, I'm looking into that course also right now. If you want, we can even discuss about that course also, wherein we can create a front end application, understanding everything using Copilot as our medium of instruction. Okay, so just to keep it simple, I have got one variable data within which I have got a column which I'm interested to get the count. So first I'm getting the count. Okay, after getting the count, what I'm interested, I am saying take this count, okay, and do a plot. Which kind of plot? Bar plot. I do know that how many classes do I have? Two class. So I'm using two category. I'm passing the color as red and green. Then I'm saying X label should have loan status. Y label should have count. But now tell me, when we will have loan status, will it have two category or not? It will have two category of Y and N. Okay. Then I can use the title name. Okay. If I run this piece offline, you can see what are we able to get. Now, suppose I'm just giving an example, guys. This is just the start. It is not at all the end. You all know this. Now, suppose I'm interested to go ahead and get the count of gender. Okay. If I want to get the count of gender, what are we going to go ahead and do here? The column name is gender with G capital. That's it. I'll get the count. I'll just run this. Run this. I'm just getting the gender count. Again, it is 11 and 4, which is pretty nice. Again, I'm putting it in this variable. So here I'm just, let me just put it here. This should be good enough. And now it will automatically give me male and female label also. Okay, you can change all this things also. That should not be a problem. Now, apart from that, so we are able to understand if you want to draw a bar plot, we can directly go ahead and make use of plot only, but we need to specify the kind. Okay, let me just take you ahead. If you want to go ahead and draw histogram, if you remember histogram, here, if you want to draw histogram, again, what does histogram do if you remember? Histogram gives you features against the count, right? It gives you features against the count. So here I am purposefully, again, from PLT, I am going ahead and making use of hist, okay? Wherein I am saying from my data, there is one column which I don't like, I'll tell you. So if you want, we can check this column also. I can just come up here. Let me just say data. What is my column that I'm interested to check the value count? Okay, let me just try this out. Okay, what is the thing? Loan amount. Okay. And let me just check for this. What do you call? Value counts. Okay. Now, if you can see here, these are the values, and each value is unique, to be very frank. Okay. So these are the values, and if you see, each value is unique. Okay. Loan amount. Now, I'm not interested to go ahead and use this. So suppose if I want to drop something, I can drop that. Okay, that's possible to drop. So if you want to drop some column, you can drop. After that, I'm saying create a bin of 20. Okay, for whatever is left. Okay, so if I want to drop, I can drop. And here I'm saying create a bin of 20. It should be purple in color. The edge should be black. What I'm trying to draw here, if you can see, I'm saying X label is loan amount. Y is the count, and I want to go ahead and get this. So if there is any null value, can you see if there is any null value? So now what are we doing here? You can see I want to drop all the null value. So if you want to drop null value, okay, you need to make use of this. So we are trying to plot this only. If I show you here, we are plotting. If I run this, just look into what is happening here. Here you can see I'm getting this information. Okay, is it fine? So if you look, we know that people have asked for 128 units of loan, 66 units of loan. So we are saying we will create our own bin. There was no bin, right? So I'm saying 0 to 20, 21 to 40, okay, 41 to 60. Is it okay? Now we will look how many times we have 0 to 20. So here you can see I've got 17 ones. Okay, if there is anything, just right now I can see one. So I'll get a one count. Now if I go down here you can see 17 is coming only once. That's the thing. Okay. So 0 to 20 was this one. Okay. Then we had 21 to 50 something. So we will have something here. Okay. Just to keep it simple. Is it okay? Now, if you want to change this count also, here you can see if I scroll up here, okay, I'll just keep it simple. We have specified bin is equal to 20. It is by default taking some, what you can say, bin factor also like 50, 80, but we can even change this. We can customize this also. Okay. We can specify that we want to see 20 bin we have told, but here it is saying the label at 50, 100, 150, right? If we want to see smaller labels also, we can even go ahead and tell that. By default, it is taking a label of 50. This. Is it okay? If you want to check this, I can say that I'll just copy this code. Let me just use it in front of you. I want to see the labels. Rather than that, bins from 0 to 20, 40, and so on. Right now, it is showing. We can even go ahead and specify the range. Okay. And then we can go ahead and do this. That is also possible. Fine. Now, if I scroll down here, 1 second. Okay. There is also something called a Seaborn. Now, Seaborn is actually built on top of matplotlib only. Okay. Now, again, Seaborn, if you want to use Seaborn, first you need to import matplotlib, which we have already imported. So right now, just to show you, Seaborn creates far better visuals, okay, as compared to matplotlib. Here you can see I'm making use of SNS as an alias of Seaborn. Then I want to get a count plot. Again, you will see what is count plot. I'm passing the data. Then here you can see we can directly use loan status as one of the column, if you remember, was loan status. Then I'm saying I also want to go ahead and use gender, and I want to get a count plot. So if I run this, you will be able to see what do we get. Okay. There are different palettes that are available. Here you can see this is what we are able to get. Okay. So we are able to get two things directly, X also, and we are also able to get the gender. Okay. How many people who have applied for this, like people who are male and female. Okay. We can get category within this. Okay. So this is loan status, people who have said yes and no. And out of this yes and no, how many are male and how many are female, we are even able to get that. Okay. Hue basically means you want to get a segregation of, you can say separation of based on gender for the loan status. Okay. So if again, when you want to go ahead and do this count plot, is it possible to do this count plot on a continuous value, or do you need a value which, if you want to do a count plot, do you need, you can do it on a continuous value, or do you need a category? Think about it. It should be a category, right? Loan status was yes and no, if you remember. Now, apart from that, if I just scroll down, there was also something called as box plot. Before we go ahead and look into box plot, again, try to understand what happened in box plot because this is important. If you remember, we had something called as median, then above median and below median, if we have third quartile. Okay, so we do get three quartiles. And based on this, we are able to go ahead and draw a box plot. Okay, within this box plot, if you remember, we have two nodes. Okay, and the end of the node, if something goes beyond the end of the node, okay, above or below, we call it as outlier. So just to show you, okay, I have got something called as, I want to draw a box plot for loan status. Okay, and what are we putting it in the value? If you can see, we are making use of this. Okay, we are plotting it for loan status as well as for loan amount. Again, we have different types of palettes, colors available. We are making use of pastel. Let me just run it in front of you and let us just see. If I scroll down here, okay, you can see this kind of a box plot is appearing. Is it okay? Now, just to show you, this is automatically, just to show you, what are we putting here? Loan status. And then we are saying loan. Basically, we want to categorize it based on why, yes and no. So here you can see how many people who have told yes, who are coming as an outlier, that calculation is automatically being done. Is it making sense what I'm saying? Calculation is being done for people who have told yes. Okay. And how many people who have told yes are coming under the upper? If you remember, this was outlier. Is it at the lower value or the higher value? The upper one. It is at the higher value, right? So here we can see this is the value which is coming under the outlier. Okay, here there is no outlier as such. Okay, if I go up here, I think we can even see an outlier here also. Is it okay? Let me just take it ahead now, just to show you what is heat map. This is again any aware idea about correlation. Anyone has any idea what is correlation? It shows the relationship between two features. Wonderful. So if you want to go ahead and draw a heat map, we will again look into heat map when we will cover regressions. Okay. So right now, let me just show you if you want to go ahead and draw a heat map. Okay. So what are we, just to help you understand, if I want to go ahead and draw a heat map, okay, we can make use of, right now we are reading a file, same loan underscore small dot CSV. Okay. Then if you remember, we have any null values. Okay. So if I have any null values in applicant income, I am saying fill NA, okay, via the mean. Then I'm saying fill co-applicant income again via mean. If you want to change it via median, you can do that. Loan amount also, okay. Again, it is basically all these are numbers. So again, I'm saying mean. If you want to change, you can change. Okay. Apart from that, just to show you one more important thing, machine learning actually does not understand anything as text. It only understands everything as number. So I have something called as gender. I am saying map male is equal to 1 and female is equal to 0. Okay. And apart from that, I am also saying wherever it is not a number, I want you to replace it by 0. If you want, you can replace it by 1. Then I have three category in area: urban, semi-urban, and then we have something called as rural, urban, semi-rural. So I'm saying 102. If you want to put anything else, you can put it. Okay. And I'm saying wherever it is y, like area is equal to yes, I want to go ahead and put it as 0. Okay. Similarly, loan status is there. Again, I want to map it by 1 or 0. Okay. Now, if I do here, there is one more column. Okay. If I want to drop any column, like there is one column called as loan ID, which is changing for each and every customer. So I can say drop. And whenever I want to drop, see, again, this is the column, right? So when you want to drop a column, there are always two axes. Do remember, this is one axis. Okay. So when you want to go ahead and drop a column, axis equal to 1 is always equal to the column value. Okay. So for each and everything, we have axis. And this, like if I want to drop a column, I need to put axis equal to 1. If I want to drop a row, I can specify axis is equal to 0, which is going to drop a row. Okay, so generally we want to go ahead and drop a column. So if I want to drop a column which is having unique value for each row, I need to specify x is equal to 1, which is actually going to go ahead and drop the column directly. Okay, so I want to drop a column, I can drop. And finally, whatever we have here, okay, I want to go ahead and draw a correlation. So if I want to draw a correlation, again, there is a method directly called as core within Pandas, which we can use to go ahead and draw this kind of a correlation. Now, just to help you understand what is this correlation, to help you understand what correlation does is, let me just show. Okay. So what correlation does is we have something called as features, okay, like gender, co-applicant income, applicant income, loan amount, then we have something called as area, and then we also have got something called as loan status. Now, mapping of gender to gender will be a perfect correlation, right? So when we map gender to gender, it will be a perfect one. When we map co-applicant income to co-applicant income, here also it is co-applicant income, it will be a perfect one. Similarly, when I map loan status to loan status, it will again be a perfect one. Is it okay? Now, whatever is remaining will help me understand what is the correlation between each and everything. Now, here you can see there is one factor which is coming out as 0.84. Can you see? Now, what is this factor? You just need to check this way. So, what is this factor? Loan amount. Okay. And there is something called as co-applicant income. Okay. Is having a, just to show you, it's having a very high collinearity. Is it okay? Similarly, co-applicant income, if I go here, can you see? Co-applicant income, okay? And just to show you, applicant income, okay? And this value, what was this? Loan amount. Let me just minimize this. Yeah, this is far better. So just to show you, if I look into this, this is highly correlated. The same value you will also be able to see it here. Same, because both the things are one and the same. Similarly, if I check for something above 0.7 as highly collinear, so I can see loan amount is also very highly correlated to applicant income. Can you see? Is it okay? Is it okay? Let me just give you an example, guys, a very simple example. I'll just draw a curve and please help me understand what I'm saying right now. So I am saying salary of a person, okay, increases as experience increases. This is my curve. Can you see this is an increase? As the experience increases, salary of a person increases. I have got another system, okay? I have got another plot between two curves where I am saying salary of a person increases as the age increases. Suppose this is what is able to be depicted from my data. Now tell me, with increase in age, generally experience will increase or not? Or vice versa. With increase in experience, age will increase or not, everyone? Now that means, see, that's okay. To do a comparison, suppose I only had these three columns. I want to predict the salary of a person. Now I am saying salary of a person depends upon two things, experience plus age. Suppose, okay, salary of a person depends upon experience and age. So suppose if someone is experienced, I'm just giving an example, he is getting $1,000. And if someone is having high age, suppose this is also contributing $1,000. Okay, or suppose I'll just change the value. I'll just put it this way. Salary is going to be dependent upon experience, and you will also get some benefit being having a little bit of age. Now let me just say experience is giving you 1,000 units or $1,000, and age is giving you 100 values, 800. Now the point is when I try to plot the curve between y and x, okay, this is my x1, right? When I tried to plot the curve between y and x1, I found that as experience increases, salary increases, which is good. That means salary has an experience has an effect on salary. With time, I also know that as age increases, salary increases, which is good. That means age also has an effect on salary. Everyone agrees. But my point is, don't you think these two variables are similar in nature? Are these variables similar or not? Both are contributing in the same way to the salary. Yes or no? That means it's not good to keep both the features. Okay, either keep experience or either keep age. I hope that makes sense. Either keep age, either keep experience. Because see, if I say the salary of a person is 1,000, that's okay. If I say salary of a person is 800, okay, you can select any one of this factor. But if you say salary of a person is 1800, is it really? Do you think with age you get extra salary for being experienced? Both the things actually contributing in a single way, right? So this is what we call multicollinearity. We need to see the dependency between two factors which are similar in nature. Okay, that is what is called as multicollinearity. Okay, so when you see 0.84, what right now we are just having a dummy data set, that means co-applicant income and a loan amount together should not be used to approve the loan status. Okay, drop one of them. Okay, what I'm saying, drop one of them. Either drop loan amount or either drop co-applicant income. Drop one of them because both are having a very high correlation.
And that's a wrap on today's video. If you want to dive deeper into AI and machine learning and learn how to apply these skills in real-world scenarios, don't forget to check out our free live masterclass. You can register through the link given in the description below. Also, make sure to comment below if you have any questions or you want to see more tutorials. Thanks for watching and make sure you watch the previous Python series video over here.